Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, I guess. We have market at all-time highs again. S&P squeaking out some new highs. A little optimism built in on the announcement that we have a little bit of a deal in the makes with Japan. There's been some edits. I'm sure you can read about it, um, but at least it's making some headlines. So, art of the deal between the UK, the pause in China, a lot of back and forth behind the scenes with China. We have Vietnam. We saw some news from Philippines this week. We saw Japan this morning or last night, and all this coming ahead of the August 1st deadline, which is next Friday. Next week's going to be pretty wild and crazy. We do have Mag 7 earnings next week. I believe it's Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta. We also have the July FOMC meeting with the Fed and Powell at the press conference. We have non-farm payroll on Friday the 1st, and we have the August 1st trade deadline. Um, is the market just continuing to melt up the prices all in? Possibly. We have some outliers going on right now with just some simple technicals. The 21-day moving average on the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq, we're stretching like 60 plus bars, which is pretty unusual for a daily time frame. And the 50-day moving average, with how many points we are above it, 250 to 300 plus points above the 50-period moving average, is also highly unusual and I think due for a correction. So we might run up and close out the month of July, near highs, and then shortly after we start to fade for what is likely going to be a pretty straightforward, hopefully 4 or 5% correction at the extreme. But depending on the volatility jump, we could see a I don't know 4 or 5% move become 7, 8, 9%. Who knows? Just be prepared for something between like a 3 to 10% window, which on the technical side gives us lots of support. So right now, here's what we're dealing with. Art of the deal. U.S. is making some deals. The global economy isn't slowing. We are seeing some highs on China, highs in the U.S. The Dow had a nice run today as well. Take a look at the tape. We're trading at 63.53 this morning. I still have some ceiling levels that I'm watching to see if the market will close below 63.60 today. I do want to keep a close eye on this because if we end up peeling off of these highs a little bit, I've got some credit from my daily profit leads this morning. They're looking pretty good. This morning was a nice little winner. So daily profit play this morning, some traders just got in the neutral strategy, did pretty well. I ended up looking to kind of fade this move. I do have a bunch of pending orders still running to see if I can get the tops around 63.65 or 63.70 today, just based on my calculated move. The VIX is all the way down to 15.43. We've been pushing all morning from a 16 VIX all the way down to 15.4. So the market continues to melt up. So highs again. This is a decent move. I mean, the previous all-time highs would have been back on Monday of this week, and the market did poke these highs. Let's see, is this all today? So up. That doesn't seem right. Is that right? Is this today's trading? It sure is. So down initially, and then we just been melting up all day. Yeah, it was that kind of late morning push right here. That was a late morning surge that we saw that kind of made the markets get a little bit of a taste of the market just won't stop. So from the previous all-time highs, which would have been Monday, we are just squeaking out another high by about 0.3%. For the day, the market 0.68 in the SPX, and SPY's up 0.69, NDX up 0.33, Q's up 0.31. Dow is up 1% today, Russell up 1.2% today. So playing some catch up on those other indexes, Dow and Russell still looking pretty good to the upside, outperforming the S&P and the Nasdaq today. Volatility, like I said, down 15.43 from the hot of the open, around 16 at opening bell today. We'll see if the market can respond to my levels here, 16.6 or I'm sorry, 63.60. And I'm still watching a couple of trades here. I don't have the fills that I want, so I haven't taken them, but I have pending orders on the SPX. Pending orders on SPX that are sitting at, yeah, I just don't want to take that trade. 63.50 in case we have like this, last 45 minutes, the market just kind of melts up to the upside. I might try to play something, at the money at the very end of the day. If I can get a decent fill, maybe grab $1, $2, $3 out of this. I do have some risk on the trade with my 63.60 by 70 and 63.70 by 80. I haven't closed the trades out yet. They are still sitting in some profit as we go into these final 45 minutes. I'll check that right here. So SPX, I do have a little bit of profit on my 63.60 by 65, and I have a little bit of profit on my 70 by 80. So, I'm in profit on both of them. It might go all the way to expiration to get my full credit today, which is 50 cents. And I do want to keep a close eye on this one because if I can sell something, I might modify these trades a little bit. But I was looking at a 63.70 by 80 for $3 on a 10 wide. I'm not going to get filled on that today. I was looking at a 63.60 by 70, and I was trying to get filled for a high credit on that one. If we end up tapping the highs that I calculated at 63.70, I'm not going to get filled that one today. And then the 50 by 75, if we end up pushing for the next 45 minutes up into 63.60, maybe 63.61, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I can get this thing filled and a break even above 63.60 or 63.65, I might take this trade for like a last. I don't know. It's going to be difficult to get the fill that I want. I might have to take this out further or just not take the trade. But hopefully, the easiest trade for me today is we stay below. We stay below 6360. We stay below that. I'll keep my 50 cents for the morning and move on. That is correct. Hey, we have Tesla and Alphabet after hours. That is correct. I did place a trade today with my newsbreaker service. I put in a credit spread on Tesla. I put in a trade just for the 25th. If Tesla goes up, great. I'll make 120 bucks. I also put another trade out to August 8th. If Tesla goes up, I'll make 125 bucks. If Tesla goes down, I am going to use that longer expiration out to August 8th to potentially take some ownership. I've got one of my larger accounts here that does not have any exposure to Tesla. I believe it's this account right here. So this account, Tesla, I have this would be my news potential plan B. This would be my news breakers. So this one, I'm just looking for a really straightforward black and white. You win or you lose. If price stays above 332 by Friday, I'll grab 120 bucks. If price stays above 332 by August 8th, I'll keep 125 bucks. So it could be an income trade of 245. But if price goes down on Tesla going into this first bit of August, then I'm going to use that 330 put and potentially take some ownership and then add cover calls on assignment and repair the trade. But I'm going to keep a close eye on this one for right now. So that's going into this week. We had some nice winners this week. I took a winner today. My broker closed me out on a win for my pinch point scanner ETR. Was a nice profit, brought a 50% winner. I also closed out several trades on Project Options Edge. So I added a new trade on T-Mobile. I added a winner on Google. This one I actually closed out. The broker closed me out with a 91.3% max credit. That was executed at 247 with a trade I put in earlier in the week. So that's done and over with. That was a nice little win for, I want to say, what was the position there? Google, let me update this for options. So 235, closed it out for 20 cents. So I made $215 per contract, and then closed out another one on CrowdStrike. This was a nice winner for about $350, 86% of max credit. We pulled in over $4 credit, closed it out for a small debit, and kept about 86% of that max credit. So the details inside Project Options Edge, it was a 408 credit. I closed it out for 57, which gives me $351 as profit. Again, closing out Google and Crowd, continuing the high win percentage with his Project Options Edge. A little bit more discretionary trading, a little bit more advanced, but continues to do great things with awesome income. Daily profit room. Just want to do this really quickly. I know some of you are in the room every single day with me. That's great. Feedback continues to come in. So today is Watch List Wednesday. We jumped into my scanner. We found some trades. We actually put a couple trades onto my pinch point. VRT was a new trade today, and VEEV was a new trade today. I'm still going to price out some other ones to see if these will hold out for the next maybe 60 to 90 days. So I'm going to continue to dig through this one and see if my get sets maybe offer up some household names. I do want to take a look. Intel has earnings tomorrow after market. I do want to price this one out as well. So Intel's trading at 23.44. We do have earnings. I'm going to see, could I do like an $18? This might not offer really any good credit, but I'm going to find out. If I go Intel, earnings on the 24th, go out to the end of the year, I could probably get a decent ratio spread here. This is down to about $18. Could I go 20 by 19? 21 by 20? I mean, for an income trade, it's a reasonable probability, but I think the better trade is, staying out of the way towards this. Yeah, I don't know how many shares I want to own of Intel. I think fair market wise, it's a pretty good trade. This is Intel. So, I mean, I wish I had a slightly better snowflake analysis, but it doesn't have a lot of risk, which is good. It's also fairly inexpensive price to earnings, 1.9 price to sales. Fair market value is 51, so we have some upside potential. And I like this big fat gap up here, which is why I'm long the shares of Intel. If we have any dips, I'm interested in buying the dips. If we have a rip to the upside, that's totally fine. I mean, part of me, I don't really want to do a spread here. Something very cheap. If we go out to the end of the year, like how much is it to get like a $28 or $29 call on Intel? Something pretty cost effective. If I do like a December or January, I mean for $1.40, this could possibly go up like $6 at a 32 delta. So 6 times 3.2. I mean, I could make more than 100% on that trade. Where I could just simply like buy shares and write covered calls against it, and that's probably the easier trade right now. It's not. I mean, expected move is pretty tiny. You go out to earnings, which is Thursday after market. We have only $1.70 expected with earnings. I mean, I don't see like a huge surprise on Intel one way or the other. So even to the downside, I'll just keep adding covered calls. To the upside, I'll keep rolling covered calls. That's probably the safest trade that I have right now in Intel as far as exposure. So I have a trade running on Tesla for earnings. I was going to look at Google. Google's sitting here at 190. Google could go either direction. I mean, I'd love to see Google upside. Let's see what the spreads are. Let's see what the spreads are on Google. So if I go out to the 25th, Google is today after market. If I buy the 190, sell the 192. So I spend $1.13 to, I mean, that's not a bad trade if price goes up. This trade, if price goes up, I spend $243 to make $257. Price needs to stay above 192. On this one's not terrible. If I spend $1.30, I make 120 if price stays above 190. But it's a pretty binary trade. This, like, honestly, this isn't bad considering we have earnings tomorrow. If Google does something positive and the market keeps lifting up, I could see the S&P all the way up to 6,400 by the end of the week, or at least tapping that level. We also have Mag 7 next week. So, I mean, how big of a pullback does Google have to have? I don't know. It doesn't have to have any pullback. So this isn't terribly expensive. Let's see. This gives me, I mean, this means if price just stays where it is, I make money on the trade. I mean, this isn't too expensive. So I spend $1.30 to make $1.20. If I'm wrong, I lose 120 bucks. I'm going to take this trade. This is going to be one for newsbreakers. I'm going to do this. This will be trade number 54. I'll issue this alert. This is going to be a trade on Google. 7/25 expiration. I'm going to go 7/25 expiration. It's just a binary trade. I'm buying the 187.50 call, and I'm selling the 190 call, and I'm going to try to get in here for a $1.30 debit. See if this will fill. So it's at one. Let me see if I get 130 right now. So $1.30. I'm not going to pay more than $1.35. Got filled for $1.31. Okay. All right. Nice. It's got a nice logo for that. Thank you, Diana. So Google 7/25 expiration, buying the 187.50 call, selling the 190 call, $1.31 debit. Max risk, $1.19 max profit. If Google stays greater than 190 by Friday expiration, keep whole profit. Easy peasy. Just give me 1 second here. Okay. Dollar. I mean, the dollar's been weak for worst starts for 50 years on the dollar. So yeah, it's weak. Trade deals coming in, weaker dollar is kind of the aftermath. I still think this is a careful situation. Don't just force sell trades. This dollar has been one of the worst starts in 50 years, right? So we see some technical oversold conditions. I wasn't surprised to see a little bit of ventilation. I could see this dollar catching something like this. Uh, you know, a little bit of a falling wedge. Like, be careful on this. I mean, this is a currency after all, so there should be some efficiencies with this. So if we go higher, or I'm sorry, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Let's say we make a lower low. Watch for something like this. Maybe some type of falling wedge, and eventually that structure breaks. It might have to round out a bottom. The dollar to me is just a short term trade. It's not ready yet, but at some point, the squeeze to 101, the squeeze to 102, something where it's such a crowded trade and everyone wants to be short the dollar. I guess. I mean, I'm not short the dollar. I can't imagine there's a whole retail crowd that's still short the dollar. If they are, they're silly because that's way too long in the tooth to be just holding short dollars. So, I mean, I think we are in the next couple of years. I mean, we could be in a pretty, I don't know, like a severe bear market for the dollar. If we have some disruption this year with, I don't know, the Fed, if the Fed cuts rates more aggressively, if Powell leaves, it leaves his helm, and all of a sudden there's a yes man coming to the Fed chair. I mean, the dollar could just continue to push lower. I mean, one thing with currencies is if they are fundamentally driven along with really solid technicals, I don't see any technical reason to buy the dollar. I see oversold conditions. I see anticipatory reasons to buy the dollar, but not fundamental or technical confirmation. So I wouldn't really be interested in a dollar long unless this thing was going to like bounce hard at a support level, catch a low, put a stop loss very tight, and see if this thing wants to come back up. But don't call the bottom in case this thing, if you've ever traded a flash crash before, I'm not saying the dollar's going to do it. In fact, this would be the first time in my entire experience trading currencies that I'd see a flash crash in the dollar because it's usually the most liquid basket in the world. But if we see the dollar getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and all of a sudden it goes down aggressively, guess where the dollar is going to put in a bottom? Something like 90. And then this is going to be a great trade to the upside. And all this inefficiency will come back and be rechecked. But I don't want to sit here and guess the bottom is in when it's not, you know? So does that mean I want to short the dollar? No, I don't want to short the dollar because we're sitting here at a 50-year run. That's the worst start we've ever seen for 2025. And I don't want to call the bottom. So if the bottom is not in, where would I consider calling the bottom? How about 90? I could see a nice support level down here. It's already past resistance and support. Okay. You stop doing your morning YouTube. Oh, you're talking about the 10:15s. Yeah, I'm posting videos for that now. I mean, I'm doing a live session, MP. You can join me live every morning. I run a trading room every morning now, from 9 to 11. So that's why I'm not running the 10 a.m. on YouTube because I'm running it here at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So if you would like to join me, this is available every single day. I'll post this link. So Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time, my daily profit plan trading room. Okay, there's a link. All are welcome to join. So I have members of all sorts of services that are in here. I also have followers that are just looking to trade with me. So I do still post alerts to my Telegram channels that are for those members. I post the trade tracker updates and the spreadsheets. So, you're not getting a bunch of free trades from me, but I'm still fulfilling and servicing my members and services. I'm just putting out a 2-hour block now where I can trade uninterrupted. Make sense? Got it. Yeah, so you can join me every morning. What I'm trying to do is dual stream that so I can do a Zoom session and talk to everybody, but also push that out on youtube.com/financial wars. So I'm trying to get Zoom to offer that. But yeah, that's free to join. So everyone can join me every morning, Monday through Friday. and I'm now doing a block from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm doing another session from 11 to 12. So it's a pretty busy morning, Monday through Friday. But the nice thing for me is it's uninterrupted. So I can get all my levels, watch some positions, talk through a game plan. Just to give you a little example, macro Monday, technical Tuesday, watch list Wednesday, trending Thursday, fast money Friday, all the services I can highlight and touch on. Okay. We also did some lessons this week. This week we did a guardrail lesson. I'll share the notes, but we did finding break evens yesterday. Today we briefly talked about covered calls. I'm going to do this one again. It wasn't enough. We'll have lessons on debit spreads and credit spreads, rolling calls, butterfly spreads, at the money, in the money, out of the money with option trading, long calls, long puts, and literally anything else you want to talk about. I mean, this room is open. I trade indexes, stocks, options, futures, Forex, crypto. You want to talk about this stuff? This is a great spot to do it. Okay. So again, I offer a lot of services, and I'm just saying that because I trade whatever it takes. Income trading on the indexes every single day, swing trading on the weeklies and monthlies, looking for income on the indexes, trading news events like earnings and mergers and big movers. I don't chase meme stocks. I don't trade crap crypto coins. Double up is high reward to risk with strategy. Pinch points a scanner that I built that can find me great trades with high probability. We're already I think 12 or 13 out of 15 winners, or like 15 trades. We have like 12 or 13 winners already. Crash Insurance Masterclass is a great way to learn how to hedge your portfolio. This is my more advanced option strategy. So, I would say if you're looking at coming into any of my services, if you want the simplest income method, waterfall income is probably my simplest trading strategy. If you want to trade with me every single day, daily profit play, we grind every single day, every single morning. These two trades alone have generated since September of 2024. We've closed out over 430 winning trades at a 90+% win rate. Like, we are crushing it on these two services. So if I have cornerstones or hallmark services, these are probably the most popular. Um, if you can learn this one, I have traders that do this exclusively and make thousands of dollars a day. I have traders that do this exclusively and they make passive income every single week, every single month. This is an individual trade. This is an individual trade. These are individual trades that are spoon fed from my scanner. This is how to protect your portfolio. This is a little bit of everything trading, which is my kitchen sink approach. You want some bonus education? Get my practical options. I'm just saying all this because this is what I do. I'm in the markets every single day grinding, and I don't care how I do it. So if I can teach a certain strategy that fits into one of these classes, great. You learn a strategy, you know exactly how to follow it. I send alerts out, but just a little something for everybody. Okay, as waterfall, it's both. I trade indexes and ETFs, index ETFs. Yep. Daily profit play is mostly indexes. I trade primarily SPX every single day on daily profit play. Waterfall income, we've traded SPX. Here it is right here. Here's a little summary. So daily income, SPX, this is daily income. So I can trade any of these in the mornings. Weekly, monthly income plays on the following, all index and ETF related. Also futures, you can trade futures too. And then News Catalyst, this is a variety of stocks, also SPY, Qs, also indexes, but some core strategies there. Double up, mostly on SPY and Qs. Every now and then I sprinkle in a trade that I like individually, but it's mostly on SPYs and Qs. Pinch point, there's 9,500 stocks here. I'm just going to put this out here for top picks, 9,500 stocks. I don't want to trade 9,500 stocks. Today I looked at my pinch point scanner. It had it down to a filtered 20 stocks. So 20 stocks I can take a look at, 20 stocks I can say whether they're good and actionable. I did take 2 trades this morning based on this filter. So, pretty simple strategies to learn, but the scanner does all the heavy lifting. And also I have an algo inside the scanner that gives you trade ideas as well if you don't want my alerts. But I do an alert service with that too. Crash insurance, hedging the portfolio, quarter 1%, half 1%. Don't pay a lot of money to hedge, but look at big reward to risk. Hedges for me, minimum like 10 to 1. That way, if I get it right, it's worth it. You don't have to be right very often. I don't plan as a bear in this market. I don't plan on being right very often. But when I am right, I want it to help. So if I'm trading something bearish, unless I'm, very confident we're going to see like a permanent bear market, for the most part, we're just to protect the little fluctuations of the market dips, and I think we're going to have one. I think this market is going to dip in the next probably 30 to 60 days. I am pretty surprised with how this market has continued to not give a crap about anything other than going higher. Now I get it. The pivot from April 7th and April 9th has all been about growth. That's what the market is forward thinking on. That's where the guidance is. Everything about the Trump administration is pass this big, beautiful bill, raise the debt ceiling, spend more money, deregulate, cut taxes, like whatever it takes, extend tax cuts, right? Whatever it takes to keep growing. And whether it favors the uber wealthy, it's the idea is this is a K-shaped recovery versus I'm sorry an E-shaped recovery versus a K-shaped recovery. So if we had 2020 was everyone has assets, they make a ton of money, everyone that doesn't ends up losing. That's what 2020 felt like for a lot of people. This would be the haves, right? The haves versus the have-nots. So what this new administration is trying to focus on is how about we change and the haves continue to have more and the nots maybe turn the corner and have an opportunity to at least get something back. So if we can improve the trajectory from lower socioeconomic to even higher socioeconomic, the whole thing gets lifted. I hope that's the case. If anyone can be helped and assisted, great. Um, but we'll find out. It's like I do wonder if we go at this stage in this venture and all we do is run into a bubble and all of a sudden that bubble's given back. So I mean, as the famous saying goes, the markets can remain irrational longer than traders can remain solvent. So I'm not sitting here trying to be a perma bear. I think it's ridiculous that people are out there just selling subscriptions in fear when if anything, the market just pulls back and continues to go higher. That's probably likely. But the pullback levels to me, a pullback to the 21-day moving average, a pullback to the 50-day moving average. It's not that hard to see this market just offer a dip. If you go back and look at 2024, for crying out loud, we had lots of them, right? Look at the 21 and the 50 period. This is through 2024. Okay. Did it find the 21? Once, twice, got back above it, 3 times, 4 times, got back above it, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times, 11 times. Plenty of opportunities to buy dips. 50 period moving average. We ran all the way through January, dipped in April. You had a chance to buy above that 50. So below and above, there's one good opportunity to buy the dip. Okay. Below above in July and August, below above in September, below above in November. Took us to the end of the year. And that rolled over hard, obviously, this year. February rolled over, and then we had the little Liberation Day surprise and the trade war stuff. So now that we're above all those, I just think the market is still going to have to find some support. Okay. Muhammad says waterfall is awesome. Omar's asking which service is best for a small account. It doesn't matter. I mean, if I go back to this, I mean, all these are pretty account friendly. You don't have to take any large trades. Daily profit play you can take with probably buying power wise anywhere between like $500 to $1,000 buying power. It doesn't have to be that expensive. Maybe $300-$400 of buying power. Waterfall income can be as cheap as like $100, and sometimes as expensive as $1,000 or $2,000. That's just buying power. It's like these are all very account friendly. News breakers, I try to make this very cost effective, maybe $100 to $300 for a trade. Double up alerts, probably my cheapest would be double up alerts. I can take trades for as little as 20, 50 cent, 20 cents debit, 50 cents debit, $1 debit, pretty cost effective. This one's a challenging service just because I have to be really, really, really confident in the trade to get that asymmetry and take the trade. Pinch point, probably somewhere between $100 to $400 per trade. Crash insurance, I don't want to risk more than $500 on these trades. Project options edge is probably more cost. It's probably the costliest as far as what it takes to take these trades. I do a lot of trades where I have naked puts, cash secured puts, ratio spreads, and so the broker, if I was in an IRA account, would tie up anywhere between $5,000 and $50,000, but it's tied up to make hopefully like 2, 3, 4, 5% return on that capital, and do it over and over and over again. So like I said, I try to make these all. I'm conscious of all the different traders and all walks of life out there. I get it. Like not everyone has hundreds of thousands of dollars to trade. So the nice part is with using options, we can trade way more cost effectively. Okay. Did you trade the Qs and SPYs late 90s melt up? Late 90s, I wasn't in the market. I started trading in 2000. So when I started trading, I was basically just buying the S&P. I was looking at, I mean, it was basic stuff. Probably my best trade was I invested in Apple and Netflix in the early 2000s. I did that because I was a user, right? Like I was a consumer. Like I had an iPod. I thought that was the coolest thing ever to have all my music on one little handheld device, and then I have DVDs show up in my apartment. Good idea to, hey, I like this company, so I bought the shares and I rolled those out for. I actually rolled those out through COVID. Yeah, it was like we end up closing shop in that trade group. I want to say like late 2020. It was like October, November of 2020 after we'd already made that big recovery. So yeah, that was a pretty good run. But anyway, I mean, I've been trading since 2000. Example project option edge. Well, I mean, if it's all I need you to do for project options edge is can you follow along with what I post as an alert? If you know how to find your puts and calls, your debits and credits, you can follow the trade alerts. I'm very clear on the probability of profit. I'm very clear on my willingness to own shares and repair what I have to. This is also a trade where the beautiful thing about trading options sometimes is I can have a plan A and a plan B. So if I am willing to own shares, the nice part is even if I take an assignment, that might be a risk initially, but I take an assignment and I repair that trade by selling covered calls or adding more option trades to it, and I turn a net profit. So there's not a lot of losses I have to take when I'm understanding how I can work through some of my more campaign positions, and sometimes it takes some cash to do that, but it's worth it versus losing. So it doesn't mean like this doesn't mean I'm doubling down and I'm taking crazy amounts of risk. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that I'm willing to own a stock up front, and if I'm willing to own the stock, then I'll stick with it. But if I think it's garbage, I'll dump it. And there's ways to do that. So you don't have to ever own anything if you don't want to. That's the beautiful part about options. You don't have to own anything. You can generate income and gains by never owning a single share of anything. You trade contracts to represent those shares, but you never actually have to own with option contracts. Nice. Okay. WD, I see that there. Thank you so much. Yeah, I hope everyone's learning a lot. Omar, does that answer your question? So small account. I mean, it like, honestly doesn't matter, but I would say this: if you want the most active day-to-day, week-to-week performance, daily profit play and waterfall income are going to be my most consistent day in, day out, week in, week out, like routine strategies. Okay, this one I'm finding major events and catalysts. This one I'm finding outlier gamma levels. This one I can take trades pretty commonly and pretty frequently with pinch point, but I do a lot of filtering. Like my scanner goes from 9,500 stocks down to maybe 10 or 20, and of those 10 or 20, I might find 3 or 5 that are actionable. So it's just a lot of like top down analysis. But the nice part is my scanner does all that work for me, and I just go place the trades. Crash insurance, that's just I think you're silly not to have some type of understanding of hedging your portfolio or understand how to protect yourself. In fact, I think you're silly if you have if you don't know how. Look, here's an example. If you were upside down when this market went down in April, okay, if your portfolio was hurt really badly, then you need crash insurance masterclass. It's that simple. Because this drawdown, when we had a high to low of 20%, my portfolio was down about 6%. And so as soon as we made that reflexive move, I was selling a lot of premium, a lot of option trades, benefiting from the melt up and the pivot in the bottoms. And by the time we got to here, I was back up to all time highs in my portfolio. And so this whole run to the upside has been another it's probably another. I mean, what am I at right now? 400,000. I think I'm at another 200K. I'm at 405. So I've had another about $205,000 of all-time highs for this year. So new highs, new highs, new highs, and I did it way before the market hit all-time highs. So my high here, and I talked about this earlier. When we were down here, my high for the year was 195. So coming back to the same high and going upwards, now I'm at 405. That's trading through everything. I told traders during this crazy trade war stuff, trade with me. We'll figure it out. Navigate this crazy stuff with me. We'll figure it out. And the traders that did, we've come out ahead by a lot, right? Your methods work into currencies too. Yeah, I trade currencies. I still manage a currency fund. I still trade. It's way more passive though. I'm not super active in currencies like I used to be, because that was like my exclusive, 24-hour market. I'll trade that. I'll deleverage my risk, and I'll trade a lot of robots and generate some income. I trade a lot of boring currencies, to be honest. I trade like Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD a ton, Aussie New Zealand a ton. I build positions up. I let them take 2, 3, 4, 6 months, but I build up positions where I can go after these wide open spaces of like 500 to 1,000 pips. So when I close out positions, I'm usually making like 10, 15, 20,000 pips in a beefed up position, and that's a nice chunk of profit. So my P&L when it comes to trading currencies looks something like this. If I go December to January, so this is month 1 to month 12. A lot of times my currency trading looks like this, like just steady gains, nothing crazy, and then a big spike up, and then just steady gains, and then a big spike up, and then maybe nothing, and then a big spike up. And so at the end of the year, I'm probably doing something like 20%. But I don't use a lot of leverage. As currencies, yes, you can trade leverage. You get 50 to 1, 100 to 1. I don't trade with a lot of leverage. I trade super, super small because I don't want to worry about big, nasty drawdowns. The Forex market, the futures market has lots of price manipulation at those highs and lows. It's too easy to get stopped out and be part of the sucker's bet, which is you are liquidity for the market. If your stop loss is at a high, you're going to get checked. If your stop loss is at a low, you're going to get checked. So I trade small and I work through areas because I think that those levels matter. But it's so frustrating when this is major support and the market comes down and spikes it, and then goes your way, right? And you're like, okay, well, it tested 3 times. Surely it can't test a 4th time. And the market goes boop and then goes your way. Stop losses get hunted. If you've seen it, which I'm sure you have, you know it's like an ongoing thing. So stop being a victim to price manipulation. Learn how to trade it. So I trade smaller. Pretty simple. All right. Anyway, that's that. We are trading at 63.52, final 10 minutes. It looks like my daily profit play this morning, I need a price to stay below 63.60. This thing better not have like a 7-point move at the end of the day. I'm going to be kind of pissed if it does. We got up to 56. I'm hoping that we are not going to go much higher. And the reason why is I can't really do much with the current 0-day to potentially hedge my risk that I have on the day. I'm going to check. I'm going to see if I do a 50 by 55. I mean, this isn't a bad trade right now, but that's obviously very risky. Gosh. I mean, part of me wants to take this trade, but I almost want to wait and see. Could I sell the 60, 65, or sell? That's the problem is I have to kind of double up on this position here. So I can go 60 by 70. God, that's so bad. Anyway, I'll watch. If this one pops up to like, $1 or more, I might actually have this thing loaded up for a trade. But hopefully the market doesn't do anything stupid here in the last 10 minutes. I'm going to watch. Positions I have running. I am in a little bit of profit here, a little bit of profit here. I could just close them down. I mean, I really could just close them down, but I think they're going to stay below 60 and below 70 by expiration in 9 minutes. If they do, great. There's my winner for the day. What's the question there, Luca? What's 1.30? Not sure what that means. You lost me and most of the people, I believe. Project options. Okay. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not hiding anything here. Look, Project Options Edge, they're more advanced strategies, right? This was a 1-1-1 that involved the naked put. I pulled in $4. I closed it out for 57 cents. This is a ratio spread. I pulled in 235, closed out for 20 cents. Like I'm saying, I'm giving you all the information you need to follow the trade. You can buy the put, sell the put, get the credit. I give the explanation, probability profit. There's ways to manage these trades. So, if you're comfortable with that, understanding the risk and reward, then, like I said, don't jump into project options without having some understanding of the options market, because I'm happy to teach it, right? I've got a ton of education inside Project Options Edge to help give you the foundational education and the core, like the core strategies. But, this is essentially what I'm using. Like when I manage my portfolios, I'm taking a lot of those type of discretionary trades. Make sense? Oh, I see. You got 30 to 1. So where are you at? If you have 30 to 1 leverage, where are you at? Are you in Europe? Are you in Asia? US traders have 50 to 1. A lot of places in the world still offer 100 to 1, 200 to 1, depending on where you're at. Australia still offers 200 to 1. Canada, I think, is like 20 to 1. Asia's 20 to 1. Where's 30 to 1? It just depends on your broker. Do I think the euro dollar will break 118? I think it's going to test. I don't think it'll break. Here we are at 55. You son of a bee. All right, man, if this thing gets above 60, I'm going to be pretty pissed because there's not much I can do here in 8 minutes. But I'm going to watch this closely so I can go 60 by 70. What's this going to offer me? $2. All right, it's going back up to the highs of the day. We have 7 minutes. I told everyone today that the high could potentially be around 70, but the VIX is all the way down to 15.5. So we might somehow get into the freaking 60s today, and that's going to piss me off because my break even is 6360.50. So Don't go too much higher, SPX. Don't be a turd. Let this thing cash settle below 63.60. I've been riding this meltdown out way too long. Crap. Let's see. Well, if I do this one, this trade would put me at a break even at 63.58 break even. I'm not going to take the trade yet. I'm going to maybe try to get this one in. Gosh, this really sucks. I mean, it's not the end of the world. If it's sitting right around 63, I still have like 3 points, like $3.20 of movement. Well, I guess this is what happens in the final hour when I'm sitting here all the way to the close. We'll see if the market does something silly like rallies the entire time or stalls at the end. I just found out about payment for order flow, which broker to use. Who's your broker? If you're with Robinhood, that's pay for order flow. There's a lot of brokers that get paid for order flow. To my knowledge, I don't. This is Tasty Trade. Schwab, Thinkorswim platforms, those aren't too bad. Fidelity, E-Trade, not too bad. Robinhood was like the notorious broker that had all these flows, democratizing trading and cost-free trading, right? Lower commissions, no commissions, commission-free trading. But what do they get paid on? They got paid to sell their orders through Citadel, and it was like very misleading. And that was back to like 2021 when everything like froze out on GameStop. But Robinhood has been great. They basically became their own meme stock in 2021, 2022. Became a ripper of a stock this year. The last 6, 7, 8 months has been just pure Robinhood bliss to the upside. Good for Robinhood. I mean, nothing I can say other than like if you bought Robinhood, you're loving it. If you participated in any way, shape, or form, the stock's ripped. Good for Robinhood, but it's also showing like traders want to trade. Traders are out there. They're in the crypto space, so more wallets are being opened up. They do have a user-friendly app. They do have I mean, it's easy, it's convenient, right? So it's not a bad thing, but that's order flow, and it is a little misleading. But again, I go to option trading, and all I need to worry about with option trading is a price and a strike. So if I have the price and my strike price and I have time, that's all I have to worry about. So price manipulation, paid for order flow. I mean, I'm not dumb money in an option chain. I have options that might test the highs, test the lows based on deltas and whatnot, but I'm not sitting here like, oh, my liquidity is going to get hunted. I mean, it's price and time. That's all it is. So I use Tasty Trade. That's been my broker for several years. I'm very happy with them. I also have this, just to show like, again, services here. If anybody wants to ask about my courses, you have any questions, you can email support@prosperitypub.com. Right? Every single day, I show a variety of tools and softwares that I have. Dynamic Trend, Tanuki Trade, Tasty Trade. There is a reference code if you open up an account with Tasty Trade. There's a code if you want it. I have promo codes to save you like 40 to 45% off on A1 Edge Finder, 40 to 50% off on Edgeful AI Dashboard. TradingIndicators.com. I've got like an indicator suite that I've built, and also anything they have on their website and get like a 30 to 50% off promo using these links. So this is just some of the friends of mine that are in the industry that I've traded with for a long time, and they get you all hooked up if you want to use some of their tools. Cool. All right. So these last 3 minutes, I want to see if price is going to stay below this blue line, 6360. I think it shall. One never knows. But from the close yesterday to the melt up all day today, the market's up 0.77%. Initially, I calculated about a 1.01 move on the day. So if I was going to get some good fills, I wanted to short the crap out of this market at 63.70 today. Obviously, I didn't get the chance to do it because we didn't go that high. So right now, now that we have these long 2.5 minutes left, I'm hoping that we stay below 63.60 and I walk out of here with my 50 cents profit on the day, and that'd be 100% winner. Close call, but let's see if we get there. So I'll sit here and ride this out until the close. Hopefully the market doesn't do anything dumb. And from this, we're at 56 right now. I mean, so right now that 305 is trading for $2, which puts my break even at 57. It's just too close. This has to trade for like over $5 or $6 for me to be interested. And I can maybe eke out a couple of dollars here, but I'm just going to wait. So if I sell the 55, buy the 75, obviously that's 20 wide, but if I can get a big enough credit, then my break even would be enough to maybe grab a couple of bucks. So we'll see. We have 2 minutes left. So you can, if anyone has a stereo or you want to pull up Pandora or Spotify, put on Europe, the final countdown, and let the synthesizers play because we have 2 minutes to go. And let's see what happens at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, if we are less than 6, 3, 6, 0, then I have a 100% premium winner today. I think we'll get there. Let's find out. All right, 3:59 on my computer. What do we have? I'm looking for seconds. Let's go real time, Eastern time zone. Okay. So this graphic is accurate. We've got about 40 seconds left. I'm curious because I'll hear the bell chime on my broker platform at the top of the hour. So we got about 30 seconds. Trading at 57. You piece of crap. Don't you dare get above 63.60. Larry says I need 63.58. Oh, Larry, I'm cheering for you, dude. Hopefully that is that your break even? Is that a break even or is that your winning level? All right, we're at 56 right now, looking better. We got about 10 seconds. 57, 57, 43, 58. No, what the F? 59.91. All right. This is going to be really, really close. Really close. I'm showing 6359.05. If this is Tasty's close, yep, if that's Tasty's close, 6359.05. Question is it less than 6360? Yes or no? Yes. So I should have a 100% winner today, literally at the final hour. Yikes. So even if I were to take that 55 by 75, that wouldn't have paid me enough to even get a trade in. I would have had a break even at 57.50. It's a garbage trade. So all right, Larry lost a buck. All right, man. Yeah, it's a pretty stupid way to end the day, unfortunately. But these trades didn't get filled, so no skin, no big deal. But the trade should have settled in. I'll check this tomorrow in class. But based on this settle here, 635899, I should be in full profit. So that should be full profit for 34 cents. That should be full profit for 16 cents, and winner chicken dinner. So by the skin of my teeth, that was a win. So we'll take this 100%, 100%. I'm going to highlight these really quickly. I'm going to post this in Telegram. No shadow needed. Okay, so this can go into Telegram. So we'll go daily profit play. DPP update. SPX cash settles at 6359.05. I'll confirm with broker history tomorrow, but it's less than 6360, which was our line in the sand. Keeping full 50 cents credit today on DPP. Okay, so keeping it, take it up as a win. Not exactly how I want to trade the day, but 50 cents going to zero feels pretty good. I'll take the profit. Still happy. It's a win. A win is a win, folks. I will take it. And that gives us, I don't even know. I mean, honestly, between the services I run, I know there's a crap ton of winners. We've got like probably 500 winners in total at like 85 to 90% winners. So, we're just active, man. We just trade to make some money. What's the harm in that? Okay, so Larry's down $1 today. What was the trade you took? Did you do something lower than me? So did you not take like the 6360? Did you do something lower than me? Were you at like a 50 or 55? I'm just curious what you had going on there. Lucas is on position now in dollar CAD long, short Aussie dollar. What do you think? I don't know. I don't love either one of them, honestly. Your long dollar CAD, I think you're early. I mean, if I'm long dollar CAD, I'm long dollar CAD here. If I'm long dollar CAD here, that's area 1, and I'm gonna be long dollar CAD here. That's area 2. And the better trade is this thing has to break the trend line, and I'll stack up my orders over here. That's a way better trade for confirmation versus trying to call the bottom. Now, to be fair, this could be setting up for some type of like falling wedge. And if it gets on the right hand side of the trend line, this goes back above like 1.39, 1.40. But the better trade to me is bigger support down here. Major support at 132, 133, 134. Telling you, man, this dollar index is no joke today. Like this dollar index being the worst start in 50 plus years, there could be something really, really big going on in the dollar, and it is not a fundamental flow that I want to fight. So I'm not trying to be here and call the bottom on anything or the top. So if dollar CAD is going to, like I said, I could position for dollar CAD. It'd be area 1 small, and I position for dollar CAD area 2 small. If we break the trend line, add a third trade, add some more trades, trade this bottom, get back to an efficiency level, come back and see if this is major support to resistance, and then take a net profit back to 138, 139. That's how you win. That's how I trade Forex. I don't try to get in with like the tiny little stop losses that the market's going to hunt. Okay, Aussie dollar short you are. I guess I'm Yoda. I don't know why you're shorting this, to be honest. Okay, Aussie dollar. Look, if China's doing well, Aussie's going to benefit. That's resistance. Aussie dollar has been like this currency pair is stupid. Like it is so channely to the upside. The only thing I can see on Aussie dollar would be maybe a push back down to this channel, like maybe good for 100 pips. Otherwise, this is every dip has been bought, and just keeps grinding. I think this thing has legs to get all the way back up to 6,900. So, I mean, to me, I would rather buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, stop loss below this level. I don't see the dollar getting that much stronger at all. So I'd rather just buy small and then trade this thing into open space with the direction of what you see, which is a bullish trend. 55 and 65 at $3 later in the day. That makes sense. Yeah, I was tempted to do that, but I was looking at I looked at the 63.55 by 70 or 63.55 by 75. I was looking really wide, and I was going to try to get like $10, $15 credit. So I could my break even for the day. I wanted my break even price to be like 63.65 or 63.70 because what did I say in the beginning of Daily Profit this morning? 63.70 potential top. Where do we come up today? We came up and tested basically 60, right? High of the day. That's the close. High of the day at 59.91. So it looks like we cash settled 358.90. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I know I'm pretty comfortable and confident that this is going to be below 63.60. So that lets me keep my tasty trade today for 50 cents net. So profit there. Chalk it up as a win. Also had some fresh profits on the day for the portfolio. Not quite highs. I was up to like 420 this morning. So my watermark highs for the year is around 420,000. So I'm going to kind of keep that in mind, see if we can push through it. But I think we have some pullbacks coming. Just look, don't be surprised if the market is just trying to melt up through July and have zero disruption. And then August, September is when the reality hits. Just a 21 period, just a 50-day moving average, just something to pull back, All right. 63.55. Yeah, honestly, Larry, I mean, the break evens, right? So if you did 55 by 65, I think that was a typo. I don't know. You're double check that. You're sending that message. So 63.55 by what? So are you doing bear call spreads? You've got 63.55 in there twice. So so I'm just trying to make some sense of the trades here. If you type in exactly what you did, I'll try to help with the math and see if I can figure out, could you be positive on that trade? Possibly. If you got a decent fill between the two of them, okay, so you did a 55 by 65 and then a 60 by 70. I got you. Okay. Can you separate them? So you're telling me that you did a 6, 3, 55 by 6365 and then a 6360 by 6370. Collectively, that was $3, right? On the two? Okay. I'm trying to think. Break even on this one. I almost think that if you do the 55, let me add this up here. So if I did 6355, 6360, and divided by 2, so 6357 should be my break even, and you pulled in $3 credit. That might be your break even on the trade. That might be your break even. If collectively these gave you $3, I don't know. That I would say the best thing to do tomorrow is double check your history. So go into if you use Tasty, go into your history or go into your trade log. Go into history, check your account, go to SPX. Okay, SPX, and then check the date. So today. So this is showing me that after fees and everything, I walked away with $45. Right. So double check and see if these fill up. What's your net? See if they already settled it for you. If not, you can do that tomorrow and see if they settled for you. But hopefully it settles for a win, man. That'd be great. But like I said, right at the very, very final minute, and fortunately, come out with another win. So top of the day, we were ready for it. The market didn't quite get there, but it tried. Okay, tomorrow, Thursday, we'll have a new round of gamma levels. I think this market is going to try to inch its way up to 6,400. I do see a huge level up here at 6,400 that's been growing all day. This actually is one of the largest gamma levels that I've ever seen on SPX. So let me check on the SPY really quickly to make sure I'm not sniffing glue here. But that's one of the larger liquidity levels and gamma levels I've seen on SPX. That's a big one. And this also is probably in line with like not just a 0-day, but also like a multi-day, but also like major monthlies. Like, I mean, heck, this could be like end of July. This could be August 15th. There could be a lot of order flows coming into this 6,400 level. So there might be some pretty key profit there. Let me check on SPX. So at the monies. Yeah, I mean between 50 and 6,400, there's like nothing else up there. Let me go to Periscope here on Unusual Whales. Right there at 60. I just don't see much on market maker positions, but I do see tons on exposure. This might all change tomorrow. I'm just curious. So tomorrow's a new day. We'll see where the levels line up. But to me, I see a big level if I go out to my weeklies and monthlies. Look at that. That's a big one. Like that is by far even larger than all the big levels today. Here is a positive gamma today at 63.50. The market got through it. So 64 is out there, but this is an August expiration. I mean, this is September now. So there's just a lot. There's a lot of order flows in here. There's a lot of order flows in here that could still be pushing. Now, part of the reason that those trades would probably see some profit is because by August, September, the market's likely going to have a correction. Seasonality wise, we expect to see a pause or pullback. When I started trading to $2,500, when I started trading back in the day, the year 2000, $2,500. So it's a process. But yeah, been trading for a long time. All right, think we'll wrap it up there. Let's come back and do this again tomorrow. Just do a quick recap. Look, if you want to join me every single day, you can trade with me live. Daily profit plan, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. My goal is to build this out to be like one of the most real trading rooms out there. You know, this is no funny business. I trade real capital all the time. All my services have real trades. It's all live money. So I think that should matter because I know a lot of traders out there that don't trade live. So obviously they're not traders. It's demo. But I trade and I teach. So I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It makes my job in the mornings a lot easier to just focus on uninterrupted trading. I hope this helps. I have services that I think offer up a type of strategy for everybody from short-term, medium-term, long-term, from very simple and kind of novice level trades to more advanced. And if you're interested in inquiring or want to find out more, just email the team, support@prosperitypub.com. Cool. All right. Cool. I'll let you go for today. Let's come back and do it again tomorrow. Daily profit. I'll see you in the morning. Daily profit plan. I'll see you in the morning. There will be a Zoom. I'll do this. I'll share my Telegram. Okay. Here's my Telegram. So I'll share this. This is Chris Pulver Telegram. Okay. 9 a.m. Eastern time. Daily profit plan. Live trade room. And also, if you'd like to join my Discord, I'm live. Well, I'm in the Discord every day. You can chat with me in any of those public channels. So I'll post that link here. It's Chris Pulver Trading. Just make sure to read the rules. I don't send friend requests. I don't send messages, right? I don't like to. I don't initiate anything. If you want to send me messages, find me in the channel, send me a message. But I don't initiate. Why? Because I've got scammers and crap all over the place. So I just keep it public. All right. This link for my Discord is going to be good for 30 minutes. Chris Pulver Trading Discord. Okay, so there's Telegram, there's Discord. Tomorrow morning, I will go live. You will see it pop up in Telegram. This is all posted this morning. Daily Profit Play Room, Daily Profit Room, Daily Profit Room. Just a little heads up. And then I was live at 11. Update for newsbreakers. I added a trade on Tesla. Update on Pinch Point Scanner. We had a winner close out on ETR today. 2 trades added. Project Options Edge took a new trade on T-Mobile. Google and CrowdStrike close out for profit. Today's live session. Okay, Daily Profit Play here. Kept the money. Yippee skippy. All right, I'll let you go. See you tomorrow. Bye. Take care.